back, everybody. We're going to be going over backstroke streamline today. Go ahead, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's going to allow you to get notifications on our future videos. We'll be posting weekly every Friday. Like I said, today we're going to be going over backstroke streamline. We have previous videos posted about our freestyle streamline videos and some of Perry's backfloat videos. Those will be helpful for some context clues leading into this, and some of those will also connect a lot, as you'll see later on. Your streamline is going to be how your body is in line while you're swimming. We're not only discussing when we push off the wall with our hands above our heads, squeezing our head tight between our shoulders, but also the way that we're swimming in the water. So whenever we're swimming backstroke, it's going to be important to keep your body line and keeping your head, hips, and heels all in line. We want to be sure that we're gliding through the water, making swimming as easy as possible. We'll use this kickboard as an example, referencing the top of the kickboard as our head and the bottom of our kickboard as our heels. The middle is going to be our hips. If we're swimming, we want to be in a straight line as this kickboard on the surface of the water, gliding through over the top of the water. We do not want our head to be up too high, as we see our hips and our heels will drop. We'll then have water hitting our body, and this will create more drag, making it more difficult to swim through the water. We also do not want to tuck our head too far, because this will create our hips to rise and our heels to rise, allowing water to go over top of our head, making it more difficult to swim and creating more drag. As you see, we have the kickboard flat. It makes it easier for it to float and glide over the top of the water. This is the same thing we want when we're swimming backstroke. It is also going to be important to remember to keep your core engaged when trying to stay streamlined on backstroke. If we relax our core, it's going to be a lot harder for us to keep our hips up, and we'll create drag by dropping our hips. So we want our body to be in a flat position on the water. I'll demonstrate that now, as I did with the board, but now with myself. We want our head kind of rested on a pillow so that we're flat on the water, and our head, the water will meet in the middle of our head. If you're wearing a cap, that's great. If not, it's still going to be in the same position. Ears will be underwater, and our body is going to be flat on the surface. We want to keep our head looking up towards the ceiling. This way we keep our hips up towards the surface, and we do not want to try to bury our head underwater. Our hips will come up too high and will create drag on the top of our head. Also, if we pick up our head, as you'll see, my hips and feet will start to fall. It's something else we want to avoid. It'll be really easy to practice this on your own. You can just get in the pool, try to float on your back as flat as you possibly can, with your head back, rested, like you're laying in bed with your head on a pillow. So as you might have seen in Perry's video about sinkers and floaters, whenever I'm sitting here trying to float on my back, you can see that my hands are sculling to keep my body up and in position. Everybody's different. Some people can float easier than others. On our back, it can be a little more challenging than on our stomach. So as I'm laying flat in my streamline position, I keep my hands sculling to keep my feet up and my hips up. As I stop the scull, my feet start to sink a little bit. This is okay. We can also use our feet to keep our hips, our hips up by kicking just a little bit. I don't have a very big kick right now or a very fast kick, but it's still keeping my feet up to the surface and allowing me to continue to talk to you, but also stay up on the surface. We're going to be going over some drills now. Jaden, can you show them the fins? So these are fins you can use during your drills. If you're struggling with your kick, it can increase the power of your kick. They will allow you to move through the drills easier and faster. So if your kick is struggling, go ahead and put on some fins during these drills. Jaden, we're going to start off. We're going to have you push off the wall in streamline on your back on the surface. Remember to keep your head looking towards the ceiling, back in line with the hips and heels. You want to try to keep your hips and heels in line for as long as you can. It's going to be important to notice that the further she glides, the more her feet will start to sink. As your feet start to sink, again, the water is going to push against your body, and it's going to make it more difficult for you to glide along the water. So trying to hold the core tight is going to be very important while performing this drill. Great job, Jade. That was very good. The next drill we're gonna do is a side kick. This drill is important for keeping your body in line while kicking. It's gonna be important in backstroke to be on your side. Being on your side in backstroke allows you to be more streamlined, as we will take less surface area and create less drag if we're on the side rather than flat on our back. Also, when swimming backstroke, we'll be rotating every time we take a stroke to allow us to dig deeper. We'll go over more of this later on when we discuss rotation in backstroke. So Jaden, it's gonna be important, you wanna remember, have one arm up and one arm down as if you were about to start the pull phase here. We wanna rest our head on our shoulder, looking up with our shoulder up high, close to our chin, okay? Not everyone will be able to keep our shoulder rotated this far, close to our chin. That is okay. It is more important to focus on your head position in this drill rather than trying to get as far on your side as you can. We want to be as far as we can, but if you're not able to get all the way shoulder to chin, that is going to be fine. Just as long as your head is in line and in the correct position. Jaden, when you're ready. As we can see, she did both sides during this drill. It's important to engage both sides. As backstroke, we will be pulling on both sides, so it's important to practice both sides when you're doing this drill, okay? Moving on, we'll be doing the 6 kick switch. This will build on from our side kick. This time, we will be using both sides in the same 25. We will start on one side with our shoulder up. After 6 to 3 kicks, we will take a stroke and switch sides. Jaden, again, it's important to keep your head back in line with the rest of your body. After 6 or 3 kicks, you will take one stroke, switch to the other side, and do the same. Okay. A good strong kick is going to be important here for keeping your hips up. As we talked about before on the Perry back float, the more that you can kick and the faster that you can kick will allow you to move through the water easier and faster. Jaden, when you're ready. That is it for our drill demonstrations today. Remember, whenever you're working on your back float, to keep your head, hips, and heels in line. Also, we want to be sure that we're swimming on that X-axis and not deviating from it, entering the Y-axis. It is important to focus on engaging your core and making sure that your back float is strong during this backstroke streamline. Thank you for watching our backstroke streamline video. Up next, we'll be going over our backstroke kicking video. See you next time.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe, share, ring the bell, comment with any questions. If you're in the DFW area and you'd like more information on swim lessons or swim team, be sure to visit www.sigmaswim.org.